No, never. When I was 12 and made my debut, sort of debut, I thought that I was merely just a flash in the pan, and if I was lucky it would maybe last a year. And suddenly another job came and another job came, and it's been a phenomenal life. I'm very, very fortunate, and I know it. And I've loved it, and I love meeting people, so this is a great pleasure to be here.
Just on it, what do you put it down to? I mean, your long career. Why do you think you've had such a long career?
Well, wonderful mentors and a great deal of good fortune. My mother always used to say to me, and she and my stepdad were in vaudeville, and I'll be talking about all of that, but she always used to say to me, don't you get a swollen head, young lady, because there's always somebody that can do what you do, and maybe even better, so do it well and don't be swollen-headed about it. So I kind of remembered that. I'm asked this question a lot, and what I always say is, you never know. I never knew and couldn't predict when a stroke of good fortune would just pass under my nose, and I say, do your homework, be ready. And I did do my homework, and I did tour endlessly in vaudeville when I was a kid, and I didn't know what I was learning, I just knew I was. And I was always running so fast on I tried to catch up with the good things that happened to me. So I'd say basically, do your homework, be as ready as you can be, but go for it. We've kept in touch, and she's just the loveliest young lady. God, to see her rocket to stardom, you know, when she did when we both did the Princess Diaries, I guess it was really, she'd worked a lot before that, but this was really the big break, and it was just wonderful to see. And she is very talented, and she sings very well, as we all know, because she won the Oscar and sang so well in Les Mis. So she's a good friend and a dear girl, and she gives me credit for so much that I don't think I deserve, but she does. Hello.
Hello, my name's Robert. I work with another guy called Robert who interviewed you last week.
Oh yes, you're two Roberts, right. Hello.
My question to follow up to Les Mis. They sang that live and they filmed it live.
Yes.
Now, Robert Wise had said to you, got a great idea, Geordie. You're going to throw up a mountain, you're going to sing live every single take. Would you have done that?
I would have done what I was told, because the director would have wanted it, and it is the director's medium. I very much doubt it would have worked on the top of a mountain, because it's, no, but wait, there's a reason why I'm saying that. Because you've got the wind blowing across a raw microphone, and you might have an aeroplane flying over, and how do you fix that? If you hear it, you've got to go in and dub it anyway. Probably best outdoors to sing to playback, which is what I did. But in the studio, I think it was a good gamble, and in her case, surely paid off. Yeah.
Robert from the Breeze.
Yes.
Hello again.
I love that, you two are smiling away.
Do you ever see a time when you'll rest?
Oh, well, I've worked my entire life, and I mean, when you're having such a good time, to a certain degree, I don't call it work. I do put my feet up. I mean, jobs just don't float across your desk every single moment. I do a lot of writing these days. I mean, I love my garden, I love my grandkids, and I love my dogs, and I love being at home. And so it's a pretty good mixture. There are periods of intense work, and then I try very hard to just let go. I miss it, but I do feel very fulfilled these days. I was bemoaning my loss of voice to my daughter, and Emma, when I was writing one day, I said, God, I miss it, and I do. I mean, there's nothing more beautiful than singing with a big, big orchestra. It's just so inspiring, and I've had music my whole life. And she said, Mum, you've just found a new way of using your voice.
Robert here is your newest convert. He watched The Sound of Music. I'm also from the Breeze, Anna. For the first time, after 46 years, he watched it yesterday for the first time.
Yesterday? Well, thank you.
Thank you
what's
for doing
to
this.
apologise for? I'm
You're
thrilled.
brilliant, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
My mum, my daughters, my kids, my grandparents, everyone's seen except for me, so I finally caught up with the film yesterday.
Well, it's about time, is all I can say.
He's recommending it to everybody.
Oh, good. Thank you. It gives a lot of pleasure, I think.
But on that, I was going to ask you to throw you in a mate. What is your favourite contemporary artist? Have you got one?
Yeah, lots. I love Nora Jones. I love Beyonce. I love. Oh God, there are just so many. I love people with a slight jazz-oriented theme to their music. It depends on in which category. In terms of my favourite kind of music to listen to, I mostly go for good old pop classics or classical music itself, which I love. Well, we knew we had all those lovely ingredients, but you could never predict just how successful. And I think I've often been asked what it is I think makes the difference with that movie. And I think it's probably, you know, obviously all the family values, but there's a quality of joy about it. And I'm not being fanciful. I think it's very joyous, it's got all the decent values and fun and family and things like that. But the joy in it of life and love is something that everybody can connect with and escape to.